there, it's Terry from the Quarter Acre, and I am so glad you stopped by today. We're going to be talking about my 2021-2022 school year curriculum choices. Yes, it is early, and I have all of my curriculum for the next school year sitting right here. Crazy? Maybe a little, but last year with the huge influx of homeschoolers that came with all the craziness of 2020, there was stuff sold out everywhere. From every place that I looked to order, there were delays and things, and luckily we got everything by our school start date. But I know a lot of people had to push back when they were actually going to start homeschooling because there just wasn't stuff in stock. They didn't have what they needed. So I did not want to run that risk. So I went ahead and pre-ordered. And I'm ready to dive in and show you everything that we're going to be doing next year. I will have a second grader and an eighth grader for the 2021-2022 school year. So first up, I'm just going to grab off the top. I have my holiday binder. I love holidays. In case you couldn't tell, Valentine's Day is coming up. But I love holidays. So I have stuff in here from Thanksgiving, free printable things that I found, books and stuff like that. And then I've got my whole Christmas curriculum from A Gentle and Classical Christmas, all set up from last year and ready to go. And we didn't do everything last year. I purposely omitted some projects and some different portions so that we could reuse it again this year without having to buy a whole new curriculum for our Christmas school. So I've got my holiday binder, and I will keep adding to this. There's a reason why it's right on top of my bin of curriculum for next year, is because when I'm done with my Valentine's Day stuff from this year, I'll pop it in here. When I'm done with my St. Patrick's Day, it'll go in here, Easter, etc. 4th of July, it'll all go in here so that I've got it when that holiday rolls around. Now I'm going to do grade specific videos. So if you're just looking for second grade, go ahead and click the card above. And if you're just looking for eighth grade, you can click the next little card, or there's links down in the description. But I just wanted to do a general overview of what we decided to go with. So let's start with math. So for my daughter, she did level 1 in master books, the lessons for a living education this year. She started that in August and ended up finishing it by November. So some of it was review for her and some of it was new concepts, but it was just stuff that she happened to absorb really easily. And so we started level 2. We're about halfway through level 2 at this point, and so I went ahead and got her level 3 for next year. We really enjoy it. And I've got reviews on what I really think about master books that are coming soon. Or by the time you watch this, they might already be up. You should search that on my channel. And then for my son, he went to public school, kindergarten all the way through 6th grade, and he had some potholes. I often refer to it as being dragged behind the bus. So there's no child left behind, but they're not leaving behind, they're just dragging them behind the bus. So we had to start back at the beginning this year. We started all the way back at the beginning. After doing a ton of research on different math curriculums, I went with the Learn Math Fast books. And so he will go through, he'll be into this book by the end of this year, well into this book, which is he'll be well into this book, the 3rd book in the series, by the end of this year, because we are going back and filling in all those potholes that he had in his math education. And so then next year he will be doing the 4th and the 5th and maybe the 6th. I'm not sure. It depends on how fast he moves, but we've got the Learn Math Fast there, and I've got a review for that if you're interested. We're going to move on to English. This is going to be my daughter's level 2 course book. We're using the Good and the Beautiful. It truly is good and it truly is beautiful. I mean, they really go above and beyond in giving in-depth lessons and just making them beautiful. I mean, wow, like that's gorgeous. and my daughter loves it. She started on level K because the levels on the Good and the Beautiful are not traditional grade levels. So level K is considered advanced kindergarten or regular first grade. And so we started with level K, and she went through that, started it in August, was done by Thanksgiving. And then we started level 1, which is considered advanced first grade or regular second grade. And so she'll be done with that by the end of the school year, and then we will move on to level 2 for next year for her second grade year. And she's also got handwriting level 3. This is where they introduce cursive. She really, really wants to learn cursive. So she's got really, really good penmanship for a first grader for printing. So I really want her to work on what she is passionate about doing. So since I feel like her printing is already good enough, we're going to start her on cursive. And the English also comes with 2 readers. Now these are bound differently than the ones that she has for this year for her current level, and I kind of like it. It's traditional bookbinding instead of the spiral, which is kind of nice. And so this is the shared reader that comes with level 2, and the personal reader, which is pretty hefty, but I love, and I'll do a full review of her curriculum, but like it's like that fun with Dick and Jane kind of vibe. For my son, let's see, where is his? Okay, he's got his level 7, The Good and the Beautiful course book. And he's got the course companion and the course book for those, as well as his reader, which is also book bound this year, which is, like I said, a little bit different. And then he has creative writing to work on those skills. And he's also got handwriting level 4. His printing is not as neat, and he was just introduced to cursive this year he had the level 3. So we just moved up to level 4, just some practice, because I think being able to write legibly is so important. He's currently working on typing 1, so we picked him up typing 2 from The Good and the Beautiful. He really enjoys that. He took computer classes at school and never learned to do more than just henpeck, but he's doing great on The Good and the Beautiful typing. For Spanish, this year we did Song School Spanish 1, and so we're doing Song School Spanish 2 next year. Definitely, if you're going to do this, Teacher's Edition is a must, and get a book for each kid. I got one book and thought, well, the easier worksheets I'll give to my daughter, and the harder worksheets I'll give to my son. Doesn't work that way. They need all the worksheets in there, so it's, for me, it's cheaper and just easier on my brain to get them the whole book to themselves than to try to make copies, which is what I'm currently doing, and that's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. All right, these are shrink wrapped, and I'm not ready to open them up yet, but this is my Story of the World bundle. We're currently doing Story of the World Volume 2, so I ordered Volume 3. I'm trying to follow the same scope and sequence that my son would be learning in public school. So this year we're learning about the Middle Ages. This is I think modern era, the early modern era. So they've got the book that you read a chapter, and then they've got this really big activity guide, and so it's got like 5 different activities, like hands-on activities you can do, cooking activities, craft activities, reenacting activities, games they can play for each chapter. And it's got worksheets in the back. So like for my daughter, who is younger, first grade, this will be her second grade year, they've got a coloring sheet that goes with the topic of the chapter. And then they'll have for my older son, they'll have like narrations that they write out or give verbally. We do it for writing because it's just more practice writing and copying down quality writing. And then there's a map for him to fill out, and it'll have different things like, okay, circle Constantinople in green. Now draw a route that the Turks used to draw from where the Turks came from to where they invaded in Constantinople, make that purple, and that type of thing. So he gets a lot of map work done in here. And then there's also, you can't hardly see it there, but there's another little skinny book there full of tests. So my daughter, I don't test, but my son, he takes a test on each chapter and puts it in his history notebook. So they've got their own little history, I call them notebooks, but they're binders that they work in for that love story of the world. And they also have CDs that you can listen to. So if you're a family that travels, like commutes for other activities, one of my friends was telling me that they listen to it in the car. So she puts the CDs in while they're driving up to like horseback riding lessons and things like that, so that the kids can get it done. She doesn't have to read it, and like it's two birds with one stone. Next up I have our science unit, one of them for the year. We do one every quarter, and this is energy, because that's one of the things my son will be learning about. Digging deep down here toward the bottom. The next science, oh, hold on, before I move on from that, I bought the extension. This is supposed to be great for 7th and 8th graders to extend it. It's a K through 8 science study, but this is just a little more in-depth for my son, and we're planning a trip to the Grand Canyon so that he and my daughter can experience that. That's for our other science unit I'm going to show you, and this is another energy book from the Good and the Beautiful. Those are both Good and the Beautiful, and here's the geology that caves goes with, and the little rock kit. So we're doing those two for sure next year, and then also space, which is free this week. They just revised it, so I'm actually going to get on the computer and download it as soon as I'm done with this. And then the last thing is for health. I build my own health unit because trying to find a health unit that caters to a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old is difficult. So the first book that we're going to go through are these cool little journals, and it's a kid's growth mindset journal. Learn, grow, and succeed, because growth mindset is everything. And I really want to hammer this home. So that's what I'm doing for 2021, 2022. What are you doing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.